Hello everybody, today we're going to be talking about Pokémon Sword and Shield. These two amazing games came out on the Nintendo Switch in 2019. God, that was so gay. I gotta say, this is one of the greatest games I've ever played, and here's why. First, let's start off with something simple. The box art. God, that is really good. Because there's nothing on the box. It's just a legendary Pokemon, that's all you need. That's it. No interesting designs, no cool glitter stars or something like that. Don't even make the legendaries look good. You know? Why overcomplicate things? Come on. No need to do that. No, but seriously, the legendary Pokemon aren't good. They're actually pretty bad. Somehow more disappointing than Gen 7's. I'm gonna be honest, they don't look terrible, they just look fine. And when you have box art legendaries used to promote the game, I think there should be some higher quality standards. They seriously don't look like legendary Pokemon at all. If you showed these Pokemon to me on the street before the game even came out, and you told me those were legendary Pokemon, I wouldn't believe you at all. But sadly, it's true. In my opinion, the box art legendaries, or the main legendaries, or however you say it, should look powerful and intimidating, because they are a really important part to the story. And this is something they do in every Pokemon game, to show two opposing powers. This is just two dogs, one with a sword in its mouth, which looks like sh**. Yes, knockoff Cheerios and this piece of sh** are the same type. Don't get me started on the shield dog. A dog with a shield as a main. Again, the main legendaries should be opposites of each other. Like Pokemon X and Y, how those two are conflicting things. But the game's story is about life and death. The theming, in my opinion, was great, because the stakes were so much higher, in the sense that the universe is in jeopardy. The issue with Sword and Shield, the first of many issues I have compiled for you in this one video, is that they don't have any cool theming with the legendary Pokemon. Like, they're there, they are technically opposites, but they do nothing to expand upon it. And I thought Gen 7 was bad in terms of Pokemon designs, but no, this is leagues better than this. Don't get me started on the starters. They don't even look that good. Actually, no, the first forms are good, I will say that. My favorite starter was Sobble, until I found out its evolution. It turns into this. Why? It looked so humanoid and it's bipedal for some reason. Who in their right mind would make a bipedal gecko? Actually, you know what? This is the best one in the game. Let's see if it's shiny as like Gex. F*** off. I'll get into more of that later. So the story starts off with you meeting Leon, the champion of the Galar region. He's the one who gives you your starter, and your rival is the champion's brother. Huh. You get to pick first, but then he picks a starter that's weaker to yours. And that sets the tone for the entire game. After the first battle, you get endorsed by the champion, which means you're allowed to battle the 8 other gym leaders. By the way, they're not really gyms, they're more so just stadiums with slightly different colors. Ooh. I thought the endorsement thing was gonna lead to something cool, but no. I don't get the point of the endorsement system, when in all the other Pokemon games, you just go to the gym. Occasionally do a little side quest here and there before you get there, but still, that worked. It was fine. You didn't need to add this extra endorsement sh**. We find out that there's a lost Wooloo who needs to be saved. You and Hop go towards the woods near your house, and there's some mist and a howl, and surprise! It's the thing on the box. It's identified, and you can't do anything to it. Seems useless to fight it at the very start of the game. By the way, Leon saves the Wooloo, which is a recurring problem as the game continues. There's something bad going on, and Leon fixes it before you get there. Professor Magnolia's research makes trainers able to Dynamax Pokemon. It just makes a Pokemon bigger, doubling all of its stats for 3 turns. You gotta go to the next town, but first, you gotta go to the wild area. This place is so great that Game Freak was excited that you can control the camera. Keep in mind, this is only in certain areas. Most of the time, at least in my experience, I could not control the camera. There were many instances where I ran into a Pokemon behind me that I just could not see due to the stupid camera. It's super cool how you can find fully evolved Pokemon, even ones that require trading, like Steelix and Gengar. This was really cool, until you come to the realization that you can't catch them. Yep, you're not allowed to catch them, unless you get the right amount of badges. Whatever happened to the obeying system, where a Pokemon will only obey you if you have the right number of badges? Apparently that's tossed out the window. This is honestly stupid. This was more work for something worse. Why? The old system worked fine. Anyways, you're in the next freaking town and you meet some arrogant named Beat. First off, Beat is a weird name, with even weirder spelling. Second, why can't my rival be like this? I want him to be a cocky douche, so it makes it all the more sweeter when I defeat him. But no, he has to be kind. There's also Marnie, who has a fan club named Team Yell. The attire? Atrocious. The guys? Morbidly f***ing obese. The girls? Just twigs. Yes, this critique applies to every Pokemon game where all the NPCs of a team look the same. Also, the fact that the grunts are just named Grunt A and Grunt B, it's extremely lazy. Keep in mind, the shit I call out in Pokemon Sword and Shield 4 are not exclusive to that game, not all of them. The series has been having several problems, but I will talk about that in a later video. The main appeal of an evil team is that they're supposed to look and act, you know, evil. Not this pathetic excuse of a team. Plus, they don't have any motives of mass destruction or total control. Take Team Skull, for example. Sure, they don't have any specific goals, but at least they did like stealing money and Pokemon, you know, the typical stuff. Except for Team Yell, all they do is just follow a girl around with their hideous costumes. Team Skull took over an entire town and kidnapped the girl that has the legendary Pokemon. To be honest, even Team Skull is kind of weak in terms of evil teams, but they are leagues ahead of Team Yell. Anyways, Team Yell's harassing some people at this inn that you're going to. Sonia, who is the daughter of the Professor Magnolia, who's interested in the lore of the legendary Pokemon. She says that the hero defeated the darkness that covered the Galar region with the power of a sword and shield. Crazy, right? You get back to a gym and you do a gym challenge. It's a recurring theme in all of the other gyms, where you gotta do some sort of puzzle or minigame to battle the gym leader. Sure, this is pretty much disconnected from everything else, disconnected from the gameplay and the story, but I thought it was a fresh take on the gym formula. In the first gym challenge, they pull it off really well. So what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to herd some wooloo, or sheep if you have self-respect, to this rectangle. And I find it pretty funny that they just roll around because their wool is so thick. It's pretty easy, but it's still pretty fun. And you get the occasional dog that'll stop you. It'll just make the sheep roll back. Then you fight the gym leader. You win. Woo! Hooray. Then you get to the next gym. On the way, Hop stops you on a bridge, and then you two battle. And then the ground changes to grass for some reason. Okay, water gym. You solve this really complex puzzle where you hit a button to change which pipe the water goes through. It's pretty nuts. You're invited to a dinner with Chairman Dadbot, I mean Rose. He's well known around the Galar region because of his power plants that keep the region up and running. Oh yeah, and Rose gave Beat his first Pokemon, and he endorsed him. Fight gym leader, Pokemon become big, you win. You make your way to Motostoke for the fire gym. We go through the linear caves. Yes, they're all like this. A maximum of 2 paths at once at any given time. Although I really like the gems, they do look nice. We only fish in these spots for some reason. Here's Beat. We beat him and got a lead card. I don't know what the f they do. We find Team Yell, beat them, and the balloon evolves. We find the stadium, then we're told we gotta go to this inn. We find Marnie, and we battle. Then I go to the stadium to do another challenge. This one involves getting points by catching or beating wild Pokemon within the gym. It's genuinely surprising because you get to catch Pokemon inside the gym. I, of course, caught them all and battled the fire fella and done. Next challenge. You go to Hammerlock, which is the first place past the wild area. After talking to Beat, he says something about the reason why he's collecting wishing stars, and it's to help the Rose save the Galar region. Sounds like it's a lot more than that. I've had lots of time to think about this while the game was loading. Good God, it's worse than Bloodborne! And this game is way smaller. Rose talks about how his company gets energy from these stars. He takes you to the vaults where you find Sonia and some murals. 2 kids take a sword and a shield to stop the Gloomy Glooms. After that God of War level story has been dropped on you, you head to the next gym. Now what's really crazy is that this gym is version exclusive. It's a ghost type gym for shield and a fighting type gym for sword. I don't know why they felt the need to do this. Wish I had the ghost one though. I've always had a knack for ghost types. This is a new feature, but pretty useless altogether. You do a little minigame where you're in a spinning thing, and you have to turn the joystick around in a certain direction to move. Oh great, welcome to Drift City. This one is pretty weak. You're just spinning around and bumping into The game sort of plays itself. This is in the sword version. Now, in the shield version, it must be different. It's just purple. If you were gonna have a different gym with different Pokemon, why was the minigame preceding the battle the exact same? If you wanna go different, put some work in. After that battle, Beat destroys a mural that's somehow representative of the Sword and Shield dogs. And he was doing that to get wishing stars. Hold on, there's a sword and a shield on it. Oh, okay, alright, I got it now. It makes sense. Easy mistake. Totally representative. He gets stopped by Rose, actually by everybody, and Rose revokes his endorsement. The mural crumbles, revealing the 2 dogs. Amazing. Seriously don't get that mural though. It doesn't look like a bunch of professionals made this. It looked like some little girl was drawing that on the sidewalk. You know, just a bunch of flowers taking up most of the screen. Oh, with the sword and the shield there, so you know what it means, oh. And there's some weird brown marking at the bottom. It's probably beads, because it looks out of place. Actually, everything looks out of place in this stupid mural. After that, you go to a forest with some glowing mushrooms. Wow. This looks really good. Dare I say, the best looking part of the whole game. Why did they not show more of this in the trailer? Instead, they had to show the low effort, low quality, garbage wild area. Then you go to Opal, the gym leader, who has a really crazy minigame where you battle a bunch of trainers in a row. What? It's not even a fucking minigame. If you're gonna try something new, have some confidence in it. Go all the way. Because if people don't like it, then you'll get the impression that, oh, the feature itself is not good. I mean, yeah, they could think that, but you're trying too hard to stay in this little bubble and not do anything. You know, a good example of Game Freak going all the way is with the Mega Evolutions. A lot of them were actually very good. Yes, some were bad, but the concept itself was great. Older Pokemon getting newer, more powerful forms. The point is, they seem like they made a genuine effort. Lucky for us, Creatures in Nintendo thinks that minigame was pretty stupid. So, what they did to make it not stupid? Just let Opal talk about some random garbage, and then you remember it, so then she quizzes you on it when you actually battle her. Yep, that's what it is. Very creative. Really nice. I didn't even bother, and I just looked up the stupid answers. They called me a madman. Oh yeah, and when you answer them right, your active Pokemon gets a stat boost, and when you answer them wrong, then your Pokemon's stats decrease. Once you finish eating that giant cake, you head outside with Opal as she's looking for some replacement. I don't know why. She wants to play bingo or some and doesn't want to be monitoring the gym. Lucky for her, she finds Beat just standing there. And she's in awe. She gets super weird, dashes up to him, holds his face, holds his jacket. Sadly, this is the most expressive animation we'll probably see in the game, and it has to be the weird one. So then you go to some rocky place, but first, we gotta go back to the wild area to shake a tree. Alright, sick, 4 berries. Go to a rock place via an incredibly pointless route. Why is this Route 7 and 8? It's like 7 seconds to get there. You battle some trainers, and watch them and everything else completely freeze when you climb up the ladder for some reason. Watch your Pancham grow into a Pan-Man. Wait, what? Oh my god, this says a lot about society. Anyways, you f*** off to the Chili Town. Can you guess which type the gym is? Wrong, it's Rock in Pokémon Sword. And it's Ice in Pokémon Shield. What the f*** is the point of this bullshit? So then you meet Sonia at the cafe called Bob's Your Uncle. Just a great name there. I can't even nitpick. Gym time! This one's not that bad. You're supposed to walk around, but the support is weak. So you're holding these... what are these? Blowtorches? They're supposed to guide you to the right path. It tells you how close you are to a pit via vibration through your controllers. The stronger it is, the closer you are to a hole. You beat the gym and leave. There's some old shit which displays two heroes standing over two graves. It's for Sword and Shield again. Woo! Sonia's thinking about shit, and Hop remembers the dog in the woods. You eat, and there's no cutscene for the eating, just a black screen, depressing as ever. Keep in mind, this is a $90 billion franchise. Next gym in Spikemouth. It's a ghetto with one lane where Team Yell lives. There's a way to get past the barrier. It's pretty crazy. It's called walking back a few steps for two Team Yell grunts to say the gloomy sh**. In this battle, they shake some things up by turning it into a double battle. You win yet again. You fight the leader in a basketball court, and I'm just so happy it's not a stadium. That is how low the bar is at this point. Moros, who I just found out is a dude, is Marnie's older brother, who just so happened to be good at lip-syncing absolutely nothing. Come on, creatures/Nintendo, I know there's no voice acting in these games, which is already a freaking shame because $90 billion on a home console, big budget game and all. But this one time where there was singing, zero voice acting. You beat him, you go back to Hammerlock for the last gym, you run into some nerd who's talking about some red light that covers Hammerlock. Whoa! Health looking a little too low, thought the game was too easy? Well, prepare it to be even easier. We're gonna regenerate your entire team every time you do a gym battle. Great. You go to the Champions Cup in Winden, where you battle Marnie and Hop. Marnie seems to be excited about using Dynamax Pokemon or whatever. With the power of Dynamax, you too can make your already hideous Pokemon look even more hideous. After that, Leon invites you and Hop out for dinner, but he flakes on it, goes to talk to Mr. Rose at the Rose Tower. Rose's secretary, Oleana or Alina or however you pronounce that, is really hell-bent on not getting Leon nor the chairman distracted during the conversation. So then she sends like 80 trainers or something like that, and we're supposed to find the real one. Oh look, there's one at a fountain. Oh wow, one's staring at a wall. One's in a phone booth. Do you see how this pads out time? This is very lazy. After that you go to some elevator and battle 50 more trainers. Then Oleana battles you. You take out all her Pokemon. But before that, she uses her last line of defense, which is actually a pretty good mascot for the game. After absolutely obliterating her, we see Leon talking to the chairman, and they're basically having this conversation, and the chairman is saying, oh man, there's some bad that's about to happen, we gotta postpone the championship. And then Leon's like, what? No, we can't postpone it. For some reason, he never explains why. The next day you get to the Epic Stadium, expecting to just battle the champion. Oh, no, that doesn't sound tedious enough. You gotta rematch the gym leaders in Eternity bracket. You also gotta battle Bede, who then quits being a trainer to become a fairy-type gym leader. You're gonna battle Leon. Rose hacks the big screen to say he finna trigger the darkest days for the sake of Galar's future. Leon goes to stop him and you go back to the slumbering Weald to get the dog who can stop the Darky Darks. You find a rusty sword and shield. I wonder what that's supposed to represent. It's found out that Pokemon everywhere are being diagnosed with morbid obesity because of Rose. Alina sides with you and asks you to stop him and whatever weird fish-looking thing he summoned from his fat f***ing gut. Rose had been giving wishing stars to that Pokemon to harness its power for the sake of Galar. One problem is that unfinished-looking Pokemon over there can't be controlled. After you take the chairman's midnight lunch money, you head upstairs. You see that fish thing Gigantamaxed into this swirly thing with a hand poking out of it. This happens right after Leon, the game's f***ing hero, chucks a Pokeball at it, which shockingly doesn't work. The thing goes bonkers, the two dogs come out to the rescue. You beat it and catch it with a disco ball. Also, the wishing stars scatter everywhere.
Hey diddle diddle, the cat and the fiddle, the cow jumped over the moon.
After watching that emotionally riveting scene, you finally get to battle Leon. You beat his Pokemon, including that Gigantamax Charizard. You thought this was it? Sadly, no. There's tons of post-game content, which most of it is locked behind a $40 paywall. Thank God, I want to experience more mediocrity and be in more debt. This is just for me. Anyways, it starts off with you getting a call from Professor Magnolia going into the woods. You fight Hop one more time, you beat him up again. Sonia catches up to you and tells you to put them rusty shits back. You find what is to be one of the worst characters I've ever seen, but they're also pretty funny. These two brothers named Swordward and Shieldbert. The hair, the suits, and the names are just top notch. They take the sword and shield, you fight Sword Turd and win, and f***ing Hop loses. What a surprise! You get to go back to the underground vault and claim it. Sonia's assistant hands the wishing stars to the two dimwits because she wants to put Galar under the control of these two f***s. You beat Sword Dirt, but they already summoned the dogs with the things. They corrupted the red dog. You battle the dog to calm it. Just throw a rubber chicken at her or something. No need for more physical trauma. Once the dog gets down, Hop returns to Stolen Shield. Because of this, you're allowed to fight and capture the other dog. Back at the shrine, the other dog gets caught by Hop, who then challenges you for one last mega battle. You win. Hop tells you about how he wants to help people, because he fails to realize that he's been helping me get more and more money from him, because he's a f***ing pushover. Sonia tells her old assistant to f*** off. The end. Whew, finally. Man, that was longer than I expected. Especially because the story was not good. I was never put in suspense. There wasn't much at stake. You couldn't take it seriously at all because the game took itself seriously at times. It made its pretty bad story make it have so much more meaning, and I mean in the most artificial way possible. And Leon never explains why he can't postpone it or something. It's sort of dumb, especially because the reason is actually very important to the story, and that's just never explained to us. Hop, who's your rival, is supposed to counter you on your journey, trying to get to your level. You're trying to progress through the game, and Hop is supposed to be like, oh no, I'm gonna try and stop you. But no, not at all did I ever feel challenged by him, or by practically any trainers in general. The game is so easy, I didn't feel like I earned my victory, I felt like it was just given to me like that. And the characters and their personalities themselves aren't really enough to write home about. Except for Rebeat, I really loved his cocky attitude. Except for the fact that his team was also pretty easy. Also, Leon is like the most important character ever. So many instances where there's something bad happening and then he's like, oh no, I got this. And then you don't experience it. Like, you know, with the Wooloo thing, and with Eternatus or Eternatus, him going all like, oh, stay back, I'm gonna capture it, no problem. I was the moron who bought the game, not you, okay? I want to experience the game for what it is. I do not want someone interrupting that experience. Like, why? Why does it have to be like this? Never had to. And at the beginning, I still thought the game was really easy, so much so that I decided not to use XP Candy or Dynamax at all. Dynamax being one of the biggest features that the game keeps blabbering on about. This game introduced Dynamax Pokemon and got rid of Z-moves and Mega Evolutions, which is a major bummer. For those of you who don't know, Mega Evolutions are more powerful forms of Pokemon that are activated by stones that they hold. It makes it so that you could turn your Pokemon from this to this. You can do this to only one Pokemon per battle. I thought this was a great idea, wishing it would be expanded upon, like it did in the Generation 3 remakes. But then it was moved aside in Pokemon Sun and Moon, where you technically could get the stones, but there were no new ones, which was a major letdown. Z moves were sort of cool, where you get to do one special move per battle that's stronger, which was super disappointing because it lasted for only one turn. Luckily, some special animations were cool, like Snorlax's pulverizing pancake, and Incineroar's malicious moonsault. Sadly, most of the Pokemon did not have specialized Z moves, and they were hot garbage. They didn't move at all. Their bodies, at least, it looked like someone was dragging them with a mouse or something. And I never used XP candy until about 50 hours in, when I was trying to expand my Pokédex without having the need to level up a bunch of Pokemon. I guess that makes it a bit easier in that regard. It took me about 25 hours to beat the campaign, and not once did I ever black out. I also found out that I had over 1.7 million experience in the EXP candy. That is enough to level up a Pokemon from level 1 all the way to level 100, and still have hundreds of thousands left over. I didn't use the candy, and even then I was slightly over leveled at times, by sometimes even 5. But most of the time I was relatively close to the trainer's levels. The only speed bump I had was when I was facing off the Dynamax Pokemon. Shocker, I know. Sometimes they were an absolute joke, sometimes they would turn almost my entire team into a joke. But hey, that's a given when your stats are doubled for 3 turns and your base attacks are like 120 or 140 or something. Most of them just made a Pokemon bigger, but some of them have Gigantamax forms. Now what that is it just makes the Pokemon bigger and it makes it look a bit different. Some of them were really cool, others, not so much. As if getting a Pokemon with a type advantage move was too complicated. Now, with the power of Dynamax, you can also just completely obliterate a team with really weak moves. Cooking, yeah, that was a new thing. And I also skipped out on this until I beat the game, and gotta say, that was a very good decision as well. Because cooking is more broken than anything I just listed. See what I mean? The cooking minigame itself is honestly fine. You can find some ingredients around the wild area to use for cooking. Get one main ingredient, grab up to 10 berries, fan the flames, stir some sewage water that moves at 2 FPS for some reason, put some heart into it, something the publisher wouldn't do for this game, and you're done. You try out the curry you made, and your character makes a face along with your Pokemon, which seems very off to me. I don't like the animations of the Pokemon eating the curry, it looks so off. There are multiple classes of curry you make. The higher the class, the more XP you earn. The highest is Charizard class. It is way too easy to make a Charizard class curry, like this one. I was with some other campers, oh yeah, you can do this with others online by the way, and I didn't know what I was doing. I kept fanning the flames and it kept getting burnt for most of the time, and boom, Charizard class. Like I said, broken. Another thing you can do while camping is you could play with your Pokemon. You get to throw a ball and they return it back to you. Also, you have this feather stick thing you get to twirl around. The Pokemon move around with such stiff and awkward animations too. Some animations are even interrupted. There's also max raid battles where you and 3 other people take on a Dynamax Pokemon that's permanently big, and your job is to take it down and catch it. I honestly think this feature is by far the most fun I've ever had in this game. It's great. It's satisfying to take down a big Pokemon with others. It's even more satisfying to catch it. Especially because most of the time, you don't find them in the wild, so it feels more special. You get a ton of stuff, including the game-breaking candy. Of course, this has a lot of flaws. The NPCs that help you are brain dead. The biggest Pokemon puts up a shield that takes forever to take down, and you're supposed to kill it before the storm consumes you. After your first attack, the Pokemon puts up a shield that can take 3 to 5 hits to break. This happens many times in the same battle. It takes forever to get into a raid and start one. The stamp system is stupid because when you see a raid battle that's public about to take place, you can try to get in, but the game keeps telling you that either all slots are taken or communication was interrupted. And when you reset your stamps, which are little annotations that state when someone has an available raid, you still have access to the old stamps. And if there's something you want to catch and the slots were deemed filled last time, you would assume that someone else had communication errors. It still says it's filled, despite the fact it's still showing up for some reason. But no, it shows the same message. Then why do you allow me to click on it in the first place? It's really annoying, and it gives me false hope so many times. I wanted to catch this Dragonite so bad, but I just could not. It was the worst feeling ever. Some more new which includes the ability to evolve a level 100 Pokemon via rare candy, receive multiple Premier Balls at once, Protein and Libero being the same abilities for some reason, give a Pokemon many rare candies at once, XP shares permanently on, negative 490 Pokemon. Speaking of the Pokemon, like I previously mentioned, a lot of the Gen 8 Pokemon don't look that good. Some look stupid, some look uninspired, some just gave me a bad vibe. I was aware that not many changes are gonna be made in each mainline Pokemon game, which is why I look forward to the Pokemon designs, because that's the only major thing that is going to be changed. And when those look bad, that's the game pretty much useless in my eyes. And of course, the best feature of all, the game being $80! Woo! Oh man, that's great. Being dead is my kink. It's not worth the price by any means, especially when 490 Pokemon are cut from the game, and the reason was to make more high quality models, which turned out to be a lie. They used the same ones that they did in X and Y about almost 8 years ago. There was a bunch of outrage when people found out, and the game director basically said, "Hello, we don't care, we're gonna do this anyway, goodbye." Also, the game is really laggy, especially when you're online and in the wild area. That is a death sentence. Sometimes you see audio just cut in and out. There's also the escape rope, which is now a key item, which means you could use it as much as you want. It's not a finite resource, and you can use it to get out of caves or dungeons. The problem is that the caves in the game really suck, leaving almost no room for exploration. Ooh, I hope their blatant disrespect to their own property and their fans bites them in the end. What the f*** do people even like anymore? Why is an objectively bad game the third best-selling Pokemon game of all time? The message that Game Freak is getting is, "Oh wow, we didn't know we could get away with this much. Oh, we'll put even less effort into our upcoming game." More mediocrity than ever before. They removed the global trading system from the game so they could put it in their Pokemon Home app, which is basically a Pokemon transfer tool. The problem is that if you want to put a Pokemon up for GTS in Pokemon Sword, you're gonna have to transfer that to the Pokemon Home app on the Switch, and then pull out your phone, and then put up the Pokemon up for GTS. Same goes with Wonder Trading. Although Wonder Trading you can do it in Pokemon Sword, but you can only do one Pokemon at a time. Meanwhile, Wonder Trade in Pokemon Home, you could do it with 3 Pokemon at a time. And for some reason, it takes several hours to get all the Pokemon. Even though it's just a simple Wonder Trade, it's almost always been immediate. Why don't they just leave the GTS in the game? It was way easier, way simpler, less frustration. Oh wait, it's another paid subscription, $22 a year. Sure, you can add 3 Pokemon to the GTS and like 10 Pokemon for Wonder Trade, but it ain't worth $22, especially when the Switch online membership costs $25 a year. So you're gonna have to be spending $47 for something that costed, what, $8, which was just Pokemon Bank, which was basically the older version, which was on the 3DS, and you know, online play was free. And that's all I have to say about the game. Overall, it didn't get me riled up or anything. It's a really good game. Didn't disappoint, the game is great fun, worth the $80, plus the inevitable $40 I'm going to spend to experience more of the awesomeness the game has to offer. I'm sure they put their hearts into that part of the game too. Now, do I think you should buy this game? Absolutely f***ing not.